Hi, it's Dr. Linda Jordan here. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. So, today we're going to start with chapter one, and hopefully, you have gotten your copy of the book, Unleash Your Inner CEO, A Country Girl's Guide to Being Your Own Boss. And so, today we're going to start with chapter one and talk about what you've read. Chapter one is Be Yourself. You have the power to make it happen. So, you may be someone who is thinking that, oh, I should have did this, or I should have lost that 20 pounds. Here it is June, and I didn't do anything. Or you wanted to apply for this promotion and things did not work out. Whatever that is for you, you still have time. This is the beginning. Every day is a new beginning. So I don't want you to think that because you didn't finish something yesterday that you can't finish it tomorrow. Because again, be yourself. You have the power to make it happen. So through chapter one, I talk about always being you, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what is going on at work. And I tell the story about when I was hired and I was very nervous and anxious about working for a large company because I had always worked for small companies. And so I did a really good job of that. And, I made connections. And that's one of the key things about being a CEO of your own organization is your network is your net worth. So it is important that you make a lot of connections. So what does that really mean, making connections? That means that you want to make sure that you are around like-minded individuals who want to excel the same way that you do. And it doesn't have to be the same industry. It could be something different. But you want to find someone who is in a place in life that is similar to where you want to be. So I give the example around when I started in real estate investing. I wanted to be like those individuals who were very successful in real estate. And so what I started doing was networking with those individuals that I wanted to be like. I attended meetings. I did things during my lunch break when, I could have been doing something else, but I figured I need to be where these people are. And the more I did that, the more I learned. And the more I learned, the better I got at my craft. And so being yourself is really important in this chapter. So if you're not yourself, then what you end up doing is you will start second guessing your own judgment. And because you can get caught up in that corporate space if you're in the corporate world, but you can get caught up in that space that is not always healthy. And so for me, I was focused on perfection and being the best, but still being lost when I was in the corporate space. And so when I quickly went over to the entrepreneurial space, hanging around people that had the same mindset that I did, it was very simple. And so what I want you to remember is that you are a leader in your own personal organization. If you have a business, you are a leader if you work for someone for a 9 to 5, it does not matter. You are still a leader. Now, you may not always have those leadership decisions or responsibilities, but you are still a leader. Think about it this way. We are leaders in our communities. We're leaders in our organization. We're leaders in our families. Or if you're in the ministry, you're a leader in your ministry or in your community. So you are always leading some people in some form or fashion. But most importantly, you need to lead yourself because you cannot be true and authentic. And you can't lead yourself if you're not true and authentic. So I forgot to say in the beginning, but hopefully you're taking some notes on Unleash Your Inner CEO, Chapter 1, Be Yourself. The other thing I want to talk about is, and if there are any questions, please put it in the chat so that I can answer any questions that you may have. So when I started my real estate investing business, I started Jordon Rental Properties. And that was a business for my husband and I. And then when I got really good at my craft, Then I started Diamond Realty Investments LLC, and that was created March 15th, 2015. And in the book, you'll read that it was 8 years that I was planning, doing fixing and flipping, doing wholesaling, purchasing rental properties, and then making friends in the real estate industry. And, I was very successful at that, but I had to network a lot. I had to be true and authentic to myself in order to do that. And it worked out really well. So, one of the things I want you to remember is that when you're being yourself, you have goals and objectives that you want to accomplish. What I want you to do, and I call this Dr. Linda's kernels of wisdom, is three things. Make a list of 3 to 5 things that you want out of life. And you can write them down, but you want to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for that. So those could be your 3 to 5 goals, but 3 things that you want out of life. So I want to make sure you take the time to write those down. The second thing I want you to think about is what actions that you want to do in order to make those 3 to 5 things be successful. And I want you to put timelines with this. So as you're thinking, yes, this is creating a SMART goal, for lack of better words. So you have the goal, you have the action, and then you want to put specific timelines by that. And then I want you to write down how you plan to celebrate. Yes, how do you plan to celebrate once you've done all of that? Because there's no reason to do something if you don't celebrate the greatness in your reward. So make sure that you celebrate that. So again, what are your goals? 3 to 5. Make a list of the actions, specific actions that you plan to take to make these goals happen, and then put some timelines by that. So you want to make sure that you've got quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Some people do 6 months. You can do that. Whatever works for you. Or if you need a goal every month, so you want to start with small chunks, please definitely do that. Because you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is going to work for you, because it has to be specific for you. So hopefully everybody has that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is being strategic. Because if you're going to start a business, you want to apply for a promotion. Or if you are transitioning out of work, the corporate space, and you plan to do something else, whatever that is for you, or if you're planning to lose 20 pounds, it doesn't matter. Whatever that is for you, you have to be very strategic about it. And so you want to create a plan, and you want to know what your strategy is. So one of the things I mentioned is that you want to make sure that you are very specific. So there's 8 simple steps in the strategic plan. So number 1 is set a goal. And you want to make sure that you have a clear purpose with that goal. And you want to have well-defined outcomes. Number 2, build a strong team, because you can't do this all by yourself. And you may be saying, well, I can't start a team because I don't have the money to do that. Start small. You are your first employee or the first team member. But with technology today, with AI, you can utilize AI to be your virtual assistant, or you can hire an actual virtual assistant to do the work for you. So you don't have to do this alone. Step number 3 is be data driven. You want to make sure that you avoid making mistakes based on your gut or your instinct, because sometimes we make decisions based upon emotions or personally attached to something. So I want you to be very specific about your goals. I want to make sure you make good business decisions by using data. And again, AI can help you with that. Number 4, focus on the big picture. So oftentimes leaders focus on long-term outcomes and how they can achieve them. So I want you to avoid getting bogged down with that. Number 5 is create a culture of innovation. Again, AI is something that allows you to be very innovative, very creative. You can put something in the system and ChatGPT, or you may be using Claude, or you may be using lovable for an app, whatever that is. You want to make sure that you encourage creative thinking for yourself, even though technology can help you with that. But you have to be able to put those prompts into the system so that your result will be what you want. A lot of people get confused thinking that, well, AI is here and then I can just plop it in the system and things will work great. But you have to know how to and what to put in those commands. AI is only good as you put that information in. So be very careful about that. Don't just plop something in there. Be very specific because whatever you put in is what they're going to give you. Maintain flexibility is number 6. Having a clear vision is important and it's crucial to stay flexible because circumstances changes and life changes. So I want you to be cognizant of that. Step number 7 is communicate effectively. And communication is key to any successful strategy. You want to negotiate, you want to communicate, you want to network. All of that's communication, but you want to be very specific about that. And even in Chat GPT, you can talk it as well, but I want you to make sure that you are putting in those right prompts. And then lastly, number 8 is to develop strong relationships. And I've talked about this earlier. Networking is so very important. So be very specific when you go out to networking. I always say it's the rule of 3. Connect with 3 people that you don't know or have never met and do your 30-second or 60-second elevator pitch. And tell them about what you do and what you hope to do if you haven't started something. But get that. That's one thing you need to do also is to create your elevator pitch because some of you may or may not have that. So you want to make sure that you create that elevator pitch, make sure that you can repeat that and you're not stumbling over your words. So there's 8 steps that we talked about that I mentioned. I want to make sure that you don't forget those. Number 1 is for regarding being strategic, 8 simple steps. Set a clear vision, build a strong team, be data driven, focus on the big picture, create a culture of innovation, maintain flexibility, communicate effectively, and develop strong relationships. Pretty simple. And I'll wrap up our session for today with 3 action steps that I want you to take. And there will also be a PDF that I will include as well. 3 simple steps for you to take. Number 1 is to be consistent in everything that you do. Be consistent. It helps to build trust and it builds credibility with your audience or with your customers. Number 2 is be disciplined and steadily work on your task. Don't say you're going to do something tomorrow and then you allow an excuse or life to get in the way. Now, life may get in the way and you can't get it done at that particular time that you say you're going to do it, but do it when you do have the time that day. Don't wait till the 2-3 weeks later and you forgot all about it. Number 3 is be committed. Don't let the flying squirrels distract you from reaching your goals. And when I say flying squirrels, I don't mean physical flying squirrels. I mean those things that pop in your mailbox back and forth, those text messages that you get, that TikTok video that they pop up on your phone. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to look at that. Don't let distractions get in your way to prevent you from being very strategic and creating your plan for life. Don't let stuff get in the way. So hopefully that has been very helpful for you for class 1. Next time we'll talk a little bit more about no more excuses. That's one of my favorite topics. But one kernel that I want to leave you with is that now that you know the 3 steps to taking action, list 3 things on your to-do list that you've been putting off. What has been on your list nagging at you and you're like, I should have did that. Why didn't I do that? And next thing you know, someone else came up with that same idea that you did not do. There are 3 things that you can come up with that you should have done and you have not done. Write them down. And I want to I want you to share that with me for next week, because I want to make sure that you are taking action, taking those steps necessary to get the job done. So, again, next week we'll talk about excuses. And I'll send a PDF file for homework for next week. So, with that, I'm Dr. Linda Jordon. Unleash your inner CEO. Be your own boss so that you can illuminate your potential and live the life that you deserve.